can't get to your legs, they can score defensively if you get to their legs. So that was a great example of one thing's not working for you, go to your next skill. Be able to wrestle in every single area.
So now we move on to 174. Hokies without Mekhi Lewis. So going with Jordan Florence here for Virginia Tech. He's got a tall task wrestling against a top 10 guy, top 5 actually, and Chris Focca. And this is where Jordan Florence, this could be a huge upset if he pulls this off against a top 5 wrestler in Focca.
Jordan Florence coming off of a 2-2, or going 2-2 there at the Southern Scuffle just about a week ago. Chris Focca has wrestled fantastic pretty much this entire year. As I noted earlier in the broadcast, he has a pretty high bonus percentage. When he gets on top and he finds that far wrist, he is a menace with some of his tilts. His fireman, if he gets his hand on an elbow, he's flinging around to the side and he's going to take you down with it. So he's an exciting guy to watch and does a great job in a lot of different areas.
Now, Focca and Mekhi Lewis actually wrestled at Cliff Keen, and Mekhi won that one 3-2.
There's that dump that I was kind of talking about. I believe I said fireman, but more of a dump there.
Florence, the redshirt senior from Bealton, Virginia.
Jordan Florence, interesting enough, too, has spent the last 2 years almost completely off of the Virginia Tech wrestling team. I only say that because he was injured, where he was pretty much doing rehab every day for like nearly 2 years. Had injured his knee, had shoulder surgery, all kind of back-to-back against each other. So pretty rough past 2 years, but I'm sure, regardless of who he was wrestling here, was pretty happy to earn this opportunity to come in, step in for Mekhi Lewis and wrestle in the Moss Arts Center.
Trying to get up.
Ooh, did a good job of
and he kept it
toe
in almost for Focca.
Florence doing a great job, not scared to wrestle in any positions thus far with Focca. Did a good job trying to keep the wrestling going on his feet, and then even right there, kind of hopping the hips over and keeping that scramble going. It's a nice ankle hook. And this is where you'll see Focca work a little bit. Sometimes he'll hop across to collect that far wrist. Probably hard to see from that angle you just had there. Now he's got a high thigh in, trying to work power half. Deep leg, now double boots. And as the bottom guy here, you know you're going to be here for a minute. Going to be hard to turn Florence over with both those boots, and you'll look to see him clear.
Trying to get some near fall. Trying to get some near fall points.
Florence looking for the head there. Trying to see if he can't find that defensive pin.
And nothing awarded there to Focca.
About 30 seconds here at the end of the first. Focca controlling on top, looking for a handful of different turns. There's the tilt that he's so good at.
And there come the bonus points. Focca, he's got 4 more to him. So now up 6-0. Remember Focca last time out, he won 14-0 his last time out. Against Arizona State, he might have a pin close to it here if Florence isn't able to fight it off, and he was. So add 2 more there right before the end of the first period, and Focca dominating here so far at 174 at 8-0.
Bailey, you know what chain wrestling is?
Why don't you enlighten me?
So chain wrestling's kind of where you tie moves together, where like with Ramirez when he was wrestling Brady last match, he was shooting or took a duck over here and then shot a single leg on the other side of the body. The same thing kind of happens on top here, and that was a great example of it with Focca's turns there, where he had that cross wrist and tilted Florence up, but then went right into it and had that bow and arrow where he had his leg all bent up behind him, and it looks like it should be illegal, but then went right off of that and found another turn. So did a really good job of chain wrestling there on the mat.
It's nice to learn.
It's nice to talk about those simple things, because I can't talk to anybody in the wrestling world about how cool chain wrestling is. They don't care. They're like, oh gosh, don't preach this to me.
Okay, so if you brought that up, people would roll their eyes.
No, it's not that exciting to explain to somebody who's been wrestling for 15, 20 years or whatever.
Out 11-0.
Just judging from the yelling on the Cornell bench, there's Focca again with that bow and arrow. They're probably going to be looking for a fall here. Going to have the tech fall. Difference between 5 and 6 points. Huge difference in a tight duel like this.
Yeah, that is going to be big moving down the lineup here. Is it right now as it stands? It's 3-3. Check that now. 9-3. Cornell leading after Chris Focca comes up with a pin in the second period.
Huge deal there for the Big Red.
So Focca showing why he's the number 5 wrestler in the country. And Jordan Florence up against a very tough